Hello and welcome to Legacy Lane. Today Legacy Lane presents Who is Inanna, also known as Ishtar, the goddess of love and war. There are names that echo through the long corridors of history, names spoken with reverence and awe for thousands of years. One such name is Inanna. In Sumer, she was Inanna. To the Akkadians, she was Ishtar. Though the names changed, the goddess remained. One of the most powerful and beloved figures of the ancient world. Her story is not simple. It is a vast river, flowing from the dawn of civilization, touching many lands and peoples, carrying the deepest questions we have always asked. A being of profound contrasts, a divine paradox. Goddess of tender love and goddess of brutal war. Keeper of fertility, maker of fields rich with grain, filler of wombs with life, holder of kingship, commander of armies. Her Sumerian name, Inanna, often translated as Lady of Heaven. Her story has no single birth date. We trace her worship to the 4th and 3rd millennia BCE, in the land we now call Iraq, at the heart of Mesopotamia. To understand Inanna, we travel back to her home. Imagine Uruk as it once was, ruins to reconstruction. One of the first true cities, not a village, but an idea. A center of culture, religion, and power. Walls tied to Gilgamesh, stretching for miles. Within, great temples and ziggurats reaching for the sky. Bustling marketplaces, crowded neighborhoods. The Bronze Age, immense innovation. Writing emerges. The wheel is invented. Irrigation transforms the land. Life tied to river and season. Farmers, herders, priests, soldiers, scribes. In this world, the myths of Inanna took root. Her sanctuary, the Inanna, House of Heaven. A spiritual heart and an economic heart. Landowner, workshop, and center of learning. Rituals, hymns, and offerings knit city to goddess. The temple's influence reached every household. To the people, this was Inanna's earthly home. She presided over sacred marriage and prosperity, patron of storehouses, guardian of the city's food, warrior goddess, protector of Uruk. Her myths paint a deity intimately involved with humanity. What was a day like for a goddess? Myths don't show gods eating or sleeping, they show their presence. Inanna listens, blesses love, and the promise of children. She moves through markets and fields, guarding the green. Joy in the tavern, passion of lovers, quiet hope in a farmer's heart. But peace can turn to conflict. She dons armor, rides a lion, and leads the charge. She does not stand by while her people suffer. Her power can destroy and create. Clever, ambitious, she bargains with the gods. At a feast, she wins the sacred mez, kingship, writing, and more. She bears them home to elevate Uruk, her most profound tale, the descent to the underworld. She sets her mind on the land of no return, ruled by Ereshkigal. Arrayed in power, she descends through 7 gates. At each gate, one token is taken, crown, beads, rings. By the 7th, her power is stripped away. Sentenced, marked with death, she becomes a lifeless form. Life halts, crops fail, desire vanishes. Enki sends helpers with the food and water of life. Moved to grant a boon, the corpse is revived. Inanna returns, bound to provide a substitute. Her return is not a simple happy ending. It begins a new tragedy. Intertwined with her love, the shepherd god Dumuzi. The demons demand a substitute. She spares the mourners who grieved for her. At home, she finds Dumuzi unbowed by grief, arrayed in splendor, seated upon her throne. Love turns to fury. She feels betrayed. She marks him with the eye of death. He is taken down to the great below. His sister's grief softens Inanna's judgment. A new arrangement, 6 months each in darkness and light. Dumuzi's descent mirrored the scorching, barren summer. His return heralded rebirth and plenty, a yearly cosmic drama, love, betrayal, loss, and renewal. a story that kept people in step with the land's rhythms. Beyond love and nature, Inanna was political power, divine source of royal authority. Kingship gleamed in her favour. Rulers reigned because they were beloved by Inanna. Success in war and prosperity reflected her bond. A ritual union ensured fertility for the land. The lion, her ferocity, strength, and royal courage. Her star, Venus, beacon of morning and evening. Patronage shaped policy, buildings, and wars. Akkadians embraced Sumer's pantheon. Inanna became Ishtar. Her worship expanded in Babylon and Assyria. Traders and soldiers carried her name across the Near East. In Canaan and Phoenicia, she met Astarte, a familiar face. Astarte sailed west to Cyprus, to Carthage, across the sea. In the Aegean, elements of Ishtar and Astarte shaped Aphrodite. Early cult titles hint at a fiercer Eastern legacy. The Lady of Heaven found new names, her essence endured. Her story travelled far, guided by the same bright star. Even as Uruk's temples fell and cuneiform was forgotten, Inanna Ishtar's legacy did not vanish. It echoes in stories, symbols, and rituals that followed. One of history's first full portraits of a powerful woman. She commanded armies and ruled over kings. Her descent, a foundation for myths of death and return. A theme reborn across cultures. Artifacts bear her lion and her star. Thousands of tablets preserve hymns and myths in Sumerian and Akkadian. Rediscovery and translation brought her voice back. For artists, poets, and the spiritual, a symbol of feminine power. Great stories never die. They wait to be rediscovered. Today, Uruk is silence, mounds, shadowed walls, the ghost of Inanna. Millennia of change, new empires, faiths, and trials. Yet her myths let us look back to our earliest story. They ask of power and its cost, of love, loss, life, death, and seasons. Inanna's complexity feels modern. Compassion and cruelty, creation and destruction, lover and warrior. Thank you for joining me today on a walk down Legacy Lane. Join me next time as we continue to explore the stories that shaped the world. Until then, take care and keep walking in your own legacy lane.